Hi everybody, and welcome to the fastest hour on the radio. It's the Mac Daddy of motorcycle shows, the two-wheel power hour, right here on 570 WKBN and on your iHeartRadio app, 570WKBN.com. Boy, really special show. You know, we're about halfway through the month. It can't go quick enough because I can't wait till January. Whole bunch of things going on in January, and that will be the Packard Museum has the motorcycle exhibit this year, and the cool thing is if you got to see the John Penton story, you're going to see many of the motorcycles that were in the John Penton story, and that will be happening starting right around the second week of January. Also at the end of the month is the Progressive Motorcycle Show at the IX Center, and I'll be giving out tickets all throughout the month of January. You can score tickets and hang out with Roy and I, and maybe we'll get Bob Wentzel to show up there too. Tonight is a very, very special show, and I am so excited. I've got a jam-packed in-studio with guests as far away as Kentucky. Left to right on the radio dials, we go around the bend. Of course, my longtime tag team partner, my buddy. He used to be the sheriff, now he's the ambassador. Roy Dykeman. Hi, Roy.
Good evening, everybody. We have a packed show, like it says tonight. We have a very, very special thing going on here in the studio that you'll be able to see on the computers later tonight. So I'll pass that back to you, Larry, and we'll get on with our show.
Well, we're going to do a little bit of sight, sound, and motion tonight. In studio is our guest. Of course, you remember Quinn Wentzel from the dynamic come from behind victory as the Grand National Champion of the vintage motorcycle days. Am I right about that, Quinn? Grand National?
Yep, that's it.
Well, you know, your dad only told me about 12 times that I make sure you get it right now. Grand National. Grand National. I said, all right. So joining us in studio, of course, is Champ Class, Trials Incorporated Champ Class Champion, and Sherco rider who is in studio with us now, and that's Quinn Wentzel. Quinn, welcome again to the show. Also joining us from far, far away, Kentucky, right?
Yes, Kentucky.
Kentucky is Brad Baumert. Now, Brad is the managing partner and the importer for not only Sherco, but now the Scorpa Motorcycles, and of course, that's Ryan Young Products.
Correct.
All right. Hey, I'm doing pretty good here. I got all this. And then, of course, as we wheel around here, we've got our utility pipeline off-road riding and competition report specialist, Bob Wentzel. He's shaking his head. Bob will get on the mic a little later on. What we're doing here tonight, when we say we're combining sight, sound, and motion, many times you'll see either on TV or on some snippet on the internet where a young man signs a contract, letter of intent, if you will, to go play football or baseball or basketball at some college. Well, in the motorcycle world, we do something very similar, where a young man achieves a certain level of proficiency in whatever his discipline is, and he gets good enough, he catches the eye of someone that is like Brad Baumert, that has the ability to sign him to a contract, and that's exactly what we're doing tonight. I am so very pleased to have not only Quinn on the show, but Brad. And Quinn is now going to be able to sign a contract with Brad, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. He is going to be riding for Scorpa Motorcycles. Now, Brad, a little bit about your background as far as the importer for Ryan Young products for Sherco and Scorpa. And I know Scorpa is a brand that we haven't heard much about.
Yeah, we started importing motorcycles into the U.S. in '99 when the Sherco bikes first became available. And then in 2007 we had the opportunity to become a dual importer and start importing the Scorpa motorcycles. And in 2015 they've done a complete redesign of the Scorpa motorcycles. They've made a world-class competitive motorcycle, which we didn't have before. Scorpas were more of a casual rider's bike or maybe a sport club rider's bike, but now it's at the full championship level.
Okay, now does the Scorpa, or I'm sorry, yeah, the Scorpa motorcycle, does it have a proprietary motor, a Sherco motor?
Yes, it uses a Sherco power plant in it. The owner of Scorpa and Sherco are the same person. Mark Tessier, who initially designed the Scorpa and then went to Sherco and designed the Sherco and started it, eventually bought Scorpa back in 2010.
Well, I had the great pleasure of being able to speak at the Trials Incorporated banquet, which of course you and Bob and Quinn and the rest of the guys, it's a big organization that is 3 or 4 states, would you say, that you actually do the events in?
Absolutely.
And at that time, one of the things that I mentioned at the banquet was how it's seemingly you have single-handedly brought trials type motorcycling to the masses. It's not just a European one-of sport that's very select and only a few do, but it's now, you know, you see young ladies doing it and doing it at a very high level. You see the competition where, you know, not only Quinn, but Andrew Putt and a couple of the other guys, they're going to Europe and they're competing at a high level. A lot of this is I attribute strictly to your efforts, not only with, you know, Sherco, but I think you have a vision and I think you have a passion for it, and I wanted to make sure I took that time to tell you thank you from the motorcycling community for what you do out there, especially getting a lot of these young kids going. I know that you're not only the importer, but you're actually a mentor, and you do a really great job at it.
Well, thank you. You know, we work hard at it. We've got a lot of passion for the sport, just like, you know, anybody in motocross or anything. Well, we're super passionate about trials, and that's what we live, that's what we do. Absolutely.
Now, while we're speaking right now, many people will not only listen either through their iHeart app, but they may want to take a look at these motorcycles. What's the best way? Where's the web connection for Sherco and for Scorpa?
Well, rypusa.com is the link for everything. Sherco, Scorpa, all the products we import from Europe that we bring in here to help enhance trials. You can link into trial schools, trials areas right from our website. But rypusa.com should get you all the information you need on all of our products and motorcycle offerings. As far as the team and things like that, they're also featured in there.
All right, well, one of the other things is when you do get on the website, there is not only do you have the two-wheel power hour, a couple of our shows linked up there, but you also have opportunities for people to go and take classes to learn how to trials, from beginners all the way up to experts wanting to just get that little extra edge. And that can be found on the website.
Oh, absolutely. You can find a link there over to Trials Incorporated, which covers this area, like you said, about 4 states. You can find the local competitions. You can find people that are involved in the sport. If it's something you have a little bit of interest in, we can create a lot of interest out of that.
Well, you do a terrific job. Now, let me ask you, out of all of the people that you could have selected to introduce Scorpa, you know, people know about the Shercos. I mean, everywhere I go, there's blue and gold shirts everywhere, but not so much the Scorpa. Why did you select Quinn for this mission?
Well, you know, we mentor and we help a lot of kids from around the country. I mean, our Sherco team has control of the pro class. I mean, we control the entire podium there. We have kids that are riding from pro class all the way down to the smallest of the youth classes. And we see them and we work with them. Quinn's been coming to Kentucky for spring training over the last few years. He's been working closely with Ryan Young, and we've been watching him. And we've watched his progression. And you know, he's a very serious kid who backs it up with performance. And you know, out of the whole stable of people we had to choose from, Quinn was the one that rose to the top. He's put the most effort in, he's the most serious about what he's doing, and you expect really good results out of him.
Well, I kind of, when I think of Quinn, I think of, if you, maybe, I know maybe you guys might, I know Quinn would, but you guys remember Chuck Connors and the Rifleman? He was like about 6'4". He didn't say a whole lot, but you didn't fool with him too much, because if you did, you're liable to get the mean side of him. And not that Quinn's ever mean, but I know how competitive he is, and I saw that competitive streak and the will to win and overcome major obstacles during the vintage motorcycle days to repeat as the Grand National Champion. So certainly a worthy person to bring on board for Scorpa.
Yeah, he lets his performance do his talking.
You know, that's a great quote.
Yeah.
That's what you ought to put. I let my, you know, that'll be the new one. All right, now we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when I come back, Quinn, we're going to have you on for a few minutes, and I want to talk to you a little bit about your career and some of your goals, and then we'll get to signing the contract, okay? All right, joining me now on the microphone is Quinn Wentzel. Quinn, again, welcome so much to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Yeah, you know what? You're going to be like an old favorite. Yeah?
Yeah.
A young old favorite. You know, Roy, you better watch out, Roy. I'll tell you what.
I know.
Quinn's been looking over there going, I think...
now Quinn's backing him up.
You know what? Bob did say that's the way we do business.
I know. Some
And he
people
meant
have
it.
heard him. Yes.
Now, Quint, you've had a magic ride that is been completely born through hard work, effort, dedication, to rise to the top. And of course, I keep coming back to the vintage motorcycle days. I've never really seen a more singular, dominant performance than the manner in which you displayed in the trials event. You know, the first day was trouble, the second day was trouble on the different disciplines, racing, motocross, like Hare and Hounder, and then to come into the trials event being, what, 12, 15 points down, something like that?
Yeah.
That was huge, man. And I told you, I said, hey, just do what you do, man. You'll be fine. And fortunately, you did do what you can do. And you went through 40 sections without touching your foot down once.
Yep, that's correct.
Ooh, baby. I can't go out the door. I'm telling you what, you have no idea what an accomplishment that is, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways, Quinn, tonight you're going to be at the pinnacle of being a professional, where you're going to be signing a contract. You're going to be expected to perform and continue to perform. So let's talk a little bit about Quinn Wentzel and what some of the things you want to try and accomplish this year. You're a 20-year-old. You're getting married yet or anything?
No.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about that.
Man.
Yeah, because that'll Roy will tell you that'll affect your racing career now.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, definitely.
Quinn's going, oh man. Anyways, I thought I'd throw that in. But let's talk a little bit about what your goals, where you see yourself going, because this is a great step with Scorpa now and Brad. That's a stepping stone to leap off into big things now.
Yeah, definitely. I'm super excited for this year. The Scorpa deal just, makes me even more motivated. And my goals for this year are to just take each round step by step and not try to look too far forward. You got to focus on each day, each section, everything you do, and eventually it'll all add up. And go for the wins in each round, and wins turn into championships. So that's the goal for this year.
Now, when I talk to professional road racers, we've tried to do a lot this year with off-road, but when I get a hold of Josh Hayes or Larry Pegram, one of the things that, especially with Josh, that we talk about is the conditioning and the nutrition and, things like that. Have you thought about things like that? And, you're a slim, lean, mean fighting machine, but have you thought about what it might take from the cardio and the workouts and the nutrition to combine to put yourself as the entire package?
Yeah, this year for sure I've started to crack down on that more. It's very important. There's a point in where it takes more than just talent and skill to be the best. So you got to train, and I've been training in my indoor building, and eating right and getting good workouts in and everything, and that's all part of it. That's everything you need to do to win. Absolutely.
Now, you not only ride a trials bike at a very high level, but you do some crazy things like on these KTM bikes, these King of Moto things.
Yeah, that's definitely that's important to me as well, because I've grew up doing that, and that's what I started out doing, and trials came into my life, and I think it's important to keep it switched up so you don't get burned out on one thing. And if I'm riding my KTM, I look forward to getting on my trials bike, and I think that's important to me. Sometimes over the summer I ride my trials bike every day for like 2 weeks and stuff, and it's kind of like, man, I want to do something else for a minute and then get back on the trials bike. So I just think it could be different for other people, but that's something important for me. I like to keep things switched up so I can keep it fun for myself.
I think that's the most important thing. When I talk to guys like Barry Higgins or some of the other guys that won national championships early on in motocross, he said, the biggest thing today, we went out and we had fun. We didn't race for money. We got a little bit, but we raced for fun, and it was enjoyable. Now, when you talk to these young guys doing, motocross and all that, it's a serious business, and it's not fun. It's just a business. It's a way to make a living, and I'm sure that there's some highs and stuff like that, but I'm glad to see that, you come from good stock with, your mom and dad and bringing you up right and doing the things that you need to do, and that they've always been behind you on your racing career, and I think that's very important. But the thing I like about your mom and dad is that, and that's Diane and Bob Wentzel, is that no matter what you do, it's good. I have been around as a coach in Little League and then on into high school baseball and football and that, and sometimes you can see that, you know, it isn't in the right perspective. If a kid doesn't get a hit, you know, it's not good, you know, and it's a bad time. Where I've seen events where you've done, and sometimes you were a little off that day, and your dad never said nothing about it. Hey, that's racing. That's just the way it is. And it comes from a dad that raced hard and won a lot of championships, but you never hear anything about that kind of thing. And that's the kind of humility, too, that goes as the entire package. You got to have ability, you got to train, you got to eat right, and then you got to have a certain persona about you that says, I'm a quality person, and you know, that kind of humility comes through with your entire family. So I look forward to that. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come right back, I think we're going to get to the contract. We're going to get to the most important part. We've been waiting for this all along. Brad, why don't you take it away?
Well, Quinn, we've got your contract here sitting in front of you, and you know, I'd like to get us signing it. This is going to give you full factory support at all the NATC Nationals this year, and everything you're going to need to win a championship from our side. And once we sign this, all we got to do is go out and win a championship.
All right, Brad, thanks.
All right, here we go. Again, all you have to do is go to any of the iHeartMedia websites, type in Trials, Trials, and you'll be able to see this entire first half of the show up on the YouTube. It'll be embedded into the Two Wheel Power Hour page, and you can check it out. Good job, Quinn. There we go. Handshakes all around. Champagne, boys.
And Larry, with any luck, you'll see this on the front of the bike that wins the Expert National Championship at the NATC.
I'll tell you what, the blue and gold are now the orange and black.
Exactly.
That's the Army, all right? Good job, Quinn. Good job, buddy. All righty.